One way to do this is, if they are quite similar, you could trade you could go long one and then short the other. And because the differences always diverge, when they diverge quite a lot, and then they come back together, you could basically trade them together. That's possible. Now, we get to that later. That's actually a bit more complex. But what are you actually doing when you're doing this? What are you actually doing when you say, well, you trade one way or one the other? I tell you what you're doing. What you're actually doing is you're weighting each strategy in a certain way. You say, well, I trade one strategy +1, so I put 100% of my capital in the, and then I trade the other strategy, say -1. I get 100% back because I go short. You know, when I short, I actually get money back. So what we're actually doing is we're weighting the strategies in a way. And so statistical arbitrage is basically trying to achieve a weighting that is completely detached from the underlying movements of the market. But that's something that we discuss later, because that is also a multi-asset strategy, but it's a bit more complex than what we're doing first. First, we need to understand this, and then we have that, we come to Stat Arb, as it's often called with traders, Stat Arb, statistical arbitrage. Now, what we could do, for example, is we could say, well, can we weight our strategies in such a way that we optimize effectively our Sharpe ratio? So is there maybe some set of weights that gives us a great Sharpe ratio, right? A better Sharpe ratio maybe that we had before. Yeah? Now, how do we do this? So you remember we used all these multiplication stuff here? Yeah. So one thing we could do is we could do something like a reds.mul. Yeah. And then, now I'm not exactly sure whether this will work. If we just multiply them both by 0.5. Oh yeah, there we go. So what we've done now is basically we multiplied both of our returns by 0.5. And what is this? We've already seen this before, actually.
What do you mean by what is this? Or
so when we multiply each of them by 0.5, they obviously always have to add up to 1. Yeah. And so if we multiply them by 0.5, both of them, then that's exactly the same as taking the average. So if we now did this and then did the sum, we would basically, this is exactly the definition of the average. We're basically multiplying them here, and then we're taking the sum. So you know, when you take the average, it's 1 over n. In this case, we have 2 columns. So it's 1 over 2 times the return of A plus 1 over 2 times the return of B and the sum of that. That's the definition of the average. So what we're doing here is basically we're averaging out our 2. Now, the thing is, what stops us from
weighting them differently, right?
Exactly. So that's the interesting part. And so one thing we could do is basically let's just calculate this first. So let's just calculate the Sharpe ratio here. So we're basically back, you remember, 0.62, 0.449. It's the same as above, right?
Yeah.
See that mean? So we're basically having the same Sharpe ratios. And if we actually sum them up, so if we do this dot sum, we're actually ending up with the Sharpe ratio of the combined. So this should be 0.5. Oops. No, that's not correct. Oh, okay. What we need to do is axis equals 1, summing up along the rows. All right, now you have our 0.52, right? So far, so good. Okay. Now, that's basically the Sharpe ratio using equal weights. You know, so each of our strategies has the same weight. Now we could just do something else. We could just say, let's just call this W1. And the second one, let's just call this 1 minus W1 because it has to add up to 1. Yeah. So we go W1, 1 minus W1. So now all we have to do is define W1. And let's just say we do 0.6. So this would be 0.6. And the second one would be what?
0.4?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then we just calculate our Sharpe ratio again. And look, it's already higher.
It increased. Interesting.
Now, what can we do now in order to optimize this?
Run a loop around it and see where
a loop around it
will be the best.
A loop is definitely by far not the optimal solution to do this. And what I'll show you next time maybe is a proper optimization routine for this. So there's so-called gradient-based optimizers. So what I'll show you next time is how you use an optimizer. But for today, hey, you know that they're a lot faster because they use, you know, smart algorithms to converge on the solution a lot quicker. But today we don't want to do this. What we can do is we can do something like 4W1 in, and you remember the good old lin space, and we go say from 0 to 1. So we're weighting extreme one and extreme the other. And let's just say we take 100 values. And then what we do is we call this S for Sharpe ratio, and then we print W1 and S. And so we can just run it. Bam. And so you see, our best one is still 62, so there's no improvement. This just means our best solution is 100% SPY. And that's just how it is. But we could obviously try to go into -1 as well. So we could go from -1 to 1. Say go from -1 to 1. So what we could do is we could run this. And so you see here, what happens is now we go from -1 to 1. But then in the other one, we go from 2 to 0. So what we probably need to do is we need to just go and do the opposite. Okay, so now see now we have basically the opposite values. So we have always the different one. And so what we're basically doing is a really simple statistical arbitrage but it's not great. You know, there's various reasons why. But so instead of using a weight of 1, now our combined weight is actually 0. Now this in fact doesn't really make sense because here we always have the combined weight of 0 and we're just changing the volume or the size. So if we run this, we should probably get the same Sharpe ratio for every single one. Let's see. Oh no, we don't. Oh, I'm surprised. Okay. No, we don't get this.
But is it because we still have the one minus W1 in there?
Oh yeah, that's it. Thanks for that. All right. Oh, hey, here we go. So we have the same Sharpe ratio for each and every one. So obviously this doesn't work, and it's not great. There are ways to do it, but that's gonna get a little bit more complex. So we need to discuss this another time. The main takeaway here is we can't really improve on the strategy by weighting it because the two strategies are really, really heavily correlated. Yeah, that's the important thing. And so if we had something that wasn't quite so correlated, then we would probably be able to improve.